You see people around you, they choose the wrong guy to go out with, or the wrong lady. They eat the wrong food. See, take the wrong substances, say the wrong thing, pick the wrong job, make the wrong choice, buy the wrong thing. See? Even little kids, you see little kids, if you put a carrot in front of them or you put a piece or a candy bar, which are they going to go for? They're going to go for the candy bar. See? Put something nice but not exciting in front of them, and put something a little bit exciting and a little, like a video game or something. Which are they going to go for? They're going to go for the, see? That's the way we are, we humans. We sin, we err compulsively. We're not free. We're not free. But salvation sets us free. Okay? But then we become slaves of God. Now, it's a very good translation that I just read. John MacArthur had a very interesting series on the term servant in the New Testament, and he said that what's happened is that people have used the term servant, the English term servant, whenever the word slave appeared, to replace the word slave because it has a negative connotation to it. But we are actually slaves of God. Okay? If you're saved, you become a slave of God. Now let's talk about that. Before you're saved, before that special moment, you sin compulsively. And part of the curse of sin is hypnosis. See? Hypnosis. Hypnosis is a slavery of the mind. The hypnotized person obeys another will. He's not free not to obey it. He obeys the other will. You've seen it on stage. You've seen demonstrations of a person being hypnotized and then doing something foolish, and then afterwards they ask, why did you do that? And the person makes an excuse. Well, I felt like it, or he makes some excuse. The truth is, he wasn't free not to do it. See? So you see the hypnosis there, but there's a hypnosis of we're all subject to hypnosis until we become saved from hypnosis. See, sin has a drawing power. We're drawn. The naughty person, we like to look at the naughty person, the naughty politician, the naughty entertainer, the naughty substance. It has a drawing power. We're drawn. Like moths to a flame, we're drawn to sin. Okay? We're drawn to what's not good for us. The wrong person. They're exciting. See, they captivate your attention. Well, that's hypnosis. Okay? It's an enslavement of the mind. And then there's something called animal magnetism, which nature has a drawing power. The animal is drawn to its niche or its environment. You see it all through nature. Magnets draw things. Opposite charges of electricity attract each other. Male and female attract. Okay. The roots draw water and minerals to themselves. There's a drawing power. See, nature has a way of drawing the creature back to itself. See, the salmon goes back upstream. There's something that draws the salmon back upstream. Just in the way that a man is drawn. See, there's a mystery to the a man-woman relationship. See, there's a mystery to it. There's a history to it. See, and it goes back to the Garden of Eden. Because it was through woman, it wasn't her fault. It wasn't her fault, but she was the vehicle through which the temptation came. The serpent, she spoke the words. She was coached by the serpent. And then she offered the food, and Adam partook of it. So the temptation came through her. It wasn't her fault. Okay? But aren't men mysteriously drawn to women? See, keep going back to woman over and over again. See? And a lot of men get themselves in a lot of trouble over women. Well, and food. Don't we have a problem with food? We become slaves of food. See, you can't resist certain foods or substances. See? So there's a history to these things, and you need to have understanding. You don't want to give in to your indulgences and just throw in the towel and just be an animal on the one hand, but if you struggle on the other hand, the struggle only makes it stronger. What you need is understanding, so you can stand back and look at it objectively and understand it. So nature has a drawing power. So now you see what happens to us when we sin. I'll use the term sin. What happens is that there's some sort of a temptation, and it traumatizes us. See, we were meant originally to live forever. The way Adam was before he fell, we were supposed to live forever. See, as created in the image and likeness of God, to be imperishable. Okay? But what happens is that because of the legacy of Adam and Eve, we're drawn to sin, and then when you partake of it, whatever it is, whether it's a drug or disobeying your parents and doing something that the group, the gang, the peers told you to do. See, whether it's being ambitious and you could stay home and have a simple job and help take care of your little brother and sister, but instead you go off, you leave them. See, maybe in a home that's not so good, you leave your little brother and sister because you want to go off to college. See, you're ambitious. You want to get away. Selfish. See. Well, sin has a drawing power. The wrong guy or the wrong lady, the naughty lady or the guy that's not so good, you find yourself attracted. See? But what happens, or you take a substance, we'll just say substance because that's one everybody understands. We'll say a drug. Person takes the drug and then what? It's a trauma. It's a trauma and a shock. And then you change. See? After people take drugs, don't they change? See? A lot of other experiences in life. Young man goes off to work. A nice young man with ideals and brightness. And he walks into the corporate world. You know how that can be. You know all of the injustice and the gossip and the intrigue and that goes on in those office buildings. And he goes to work. And a few years later, you don't even recognize him. He's changed. Not for the better. He was shocked, traumatized by the temptation operating through people. And then he changed. Okay? But now let's remember what I said. So when you are shocked and changed, you enter a new environment. You fall to a lower environment. Not the pristine one. Close to God. Living in God's light. See? But now a lower environment. A little closer to hell. See? And now you become subject to whatever it was that you fell to. See? By way of hypnosis. It's drawing power. And also by way of animal magnetism. And then by way of adaptation and change and reprogramming. So you begin to need whatever it was that you fell for. Whatever it was that you did that was not, that somehow was not good. Okay? You begin to need it, to crave it. Even your body craves it. And you change. You adapt to that environment. See? What do they say? You can take the boy out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the boy. So our culture. See, our culture is a substitute for civilization. Civilization would be a very high thing of very noble people. People like Abraham and Isaac and Jeremiah and Isaiah and Moses and Ruth. See, people like that. Paul. Noble people. Enoch. Elijah. Noble people. Mary. See, that would be civilization. But we fall into something much lower called culture. But you see how it gets into us. See, then you keep going back to your culture, your cultural food and your cultural practices. You're enslaved to them. See, or you say you love them. See, that's what we do. We say, oh, I love it. I love my team. I love my culture. I love this and I love that. But actually, you're like the person on the stage who's does something foolish, and then He makes an excuse why he did it. Actually, he was a slave of it. So now you see how we're enslaved. We're enslaved by the hypnosis. We're enslaved by the animal magnetism. We're enslaved by our adaptation to whatever it was that shocked us and traumatized us. See, sin is trauma. See?